What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Now today's video I'm going to show you how I look after one of my tanks. It's not that tank behind us. It's obviously not this tank here because there's no water in it. I still need to sort that out. Let's go out in the fish room. I'll show you which tank it is. Quickly turn the lights off. So it's not this tank here. It's not this tank here. It's not this big tank here, and it's not this little diddler tank here. The tank I'm going to be showing you how I maintain this week is this tank here. It's the, I think it's about 250 litre, 260 litre tank, open top tank here. So it's one of the easiest tanks I look after, this tank. It's really easy to look after. I'm going to run through a few things in a minute, how I do it. Let me set this camera up on the stand and I'll talk it through with you. Okay, first things first, you want to get yourself a towel now. So what I do is I basically lay this towel down on the floor. Any water that goes over the tank will land on the towel and soak up and it won't ruin my floor. I do this on all my tanks, even the tiny little tanks on the floor down there. I basically throw the towel down like that. Then I get myself a big bucket like this. Big tanks like this, I don't use a bucket. Obviously I can siphon the water out into the garden, go and do what I want, go and play PlayStation while I let that cycle. But in this tank here, I've got tiny, minute fish, okay? So I need to keep an eye on what's coming out of the tank. I don't want to just siphon this out and end up with loads of dead fish out in the garden. Loads of these guppies, they're so stupid, they get sucked out. So I basically siphon this out. We'll do a 50% water change in this tank today. I'm not doing a filter change in this this tank today because I've done it last week, so that doesn't need to be done. So I'll do a filter change every month on this tank, every 4 weeks or so. And obviously I clean out the filter sponges inside the water, which I drain out the tank. But yeah, today what we're going to do, 50% water change, I'll show you how to do it. And that's it, so stay tuned. So you can use any sort of hose. This is quite a thick hose. There's actually a hose that comes with the Fluid Welfare 6s. I've got tons of them like lying around, you know, I just pick one up, whatever one I want to use. So basically, what we're going to do now, I'm going to go and turn the heater off. I'm going to turn the filter off. I'm going to leave the light on, I'm going to leave the air stone on because that's not going to cause a problem. So let's quickly whip them off. Okay, so that's them two off. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to start siphoning the water out this corner here. So I'm going to get one bucket out of here and then I'm going to go around with the sand in a minute and just mix up any sort of debris which I find and siphon it through. So let's start siphoning some of the water out. Now if you haven't tasted the aquarium water and you keep fish here, there's something wrong with you because everyone has. I've had loads of aquarium water in my mouth before. It's not very nice, but I'm pretty sure it builds up the immune system anyway, so it's not too bad for you. Okay, so that's one bucket out now. There's two guppies in there, the stupid things. They keep getting sucked into the siphon. Every time I do it, they come straight over to it. I can literally put my hand in this tank and they follow your hand. They're the most dumbest fish I keep. But let's quickly grab them there and put them back in the tank. With them being so stupid, they're really easy to keep as well, to catch as well. Let's put them in. Right, there they go. So then what I do now with this water here, this is really good water for your plants and stuff. Now, I've got some really good acer trees out in my garden. Now I'm going to go and pour this over the acers basically, not over the leaves because it can actually damage them, especially today, it's quite a sunny day. So I'm going to go and pour it out near the roots and that's really good fertiliser for them. Okay, so that's one bucket down. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to basically just put my hand in the tank. I've washed my hands, don't worry, I've been out and washed them. I'm going to basically just go around, sieving out through the sand. Any sort of debris that's laying in there will sort of come into the water column. And then when I do the next siphon, it'll drain most of it out into the bucket. So it's a good tip to do this is, if you haven't got like sort of bottom feeding fish, in my monster tanks I've got clown loaches, they do it for me, but in these sort of tanks you do need to go around finding the old bits of uneaten food, maybe a dead fish, stuff like that. So have a good look through the sand bed now. It's a really important time to do it, and obviously the water level's low, so I'm not going to get that wet. Okay, so that's done. Let me show you what it's done to the water now. So that's what it's done to the water. As you can see, look, there's loads of debris floating around there. There's loads on the bottom still as well. So it's basically got it into the water column now. I'm going to do it again, obviously, because I'm holding the camera now and it's all sort of sinking. But I will go around with the siphon now and literally siphon the whole tank, get most of this stuff out. So it's a really good opportunity to do it while you're doing a water change, you know, and you can get a lot of poo out of the tank by doing it this way. So let's pop the camera back up there. Look at these tetras, how nice these tetras are. Stunning fish, aren't they? Let's pop the camera back up there and start siphoning up another bucket. Okay, so that's the next bucket full now. And what you're going to do with this bucket, obviously it's quite a fair bit of muck in this bucket. I'm going to leave it to the side now, just over there, because you never know, there could be some fish in there. You don't want to go and pour it out in your garden, you can't obviously see them yet. And yeah, so leave it to the side, let the sediment sort of sink to the bottom, and then you can get in there and quickly, easy get your fish out. Okay, so now all the water's changed, I'm going to go around now just with a fine sponge, just clean off all the water marks all around here on the inside of the tank. Because obviously the water level's low now, it's really easy to do it now, this opportunity. And then basically, go out there, get my python, start filling it up. Now over the years, you just collect sponges in this hobby. Look, I've got sponge after sponge and you never chuck them away. I've got a bucket down there and there's probably 20, 30 sponges in it. You know, these are quite good, these ones here. But any old little kitchen household sponge will do. You know, these ones here, they're like a penny each, something like that, you can get from any sort of shop. So they've got like the Brillo pad on the back, which is good for getting tough marks off. So I'm just going to basically go around now, just give it a wipe round, and then, like I said, start filling the tank up. Now it's time to fill the tank up. So what you want to do now, obviously I've got some really small fish in here, so you want to be careful with the water flow. You don't want to sort of smash it into the fish and they're going to hit the rock. So find yourself like a rock or a bit of wood like down here and start letting the water enter through there, and then use your valve and then sort of turn it half and then turn it full. Now I'm absolutely in love with this tank. I love this tank to bits at the moment. I'm actually enjoying it a little bit more, and I thought I'd never say this, than my arowana tank at the back there. I wish this was in my house, but obviously I haven't got the room at the moment. But yeah, stunning tank, and do you know what? It's so easy to look after. I've got the Flugal 407 down there. Obviously I've got lots of little fish in here, so there's not as much poo as going on as in the bigger tanks out there. But I absolutely love this tank. Yeah, if anyone's looking for a tank this sort of size, speak to India Aquatics. That's who built me this tank. It's an odd sort of size. It's got like the rimless look here. It just looks absolutely stunning. Now I'll wait for the water to sort of come out to about here somewhere, and then I'll go around and turn the heater on and the 407 on. And then I can tell where I like to have a water line. I like to have it about here somewhere. Now this is cold water going straight in this tank. This is what I do in all my tanks. Every single tank. I don't warm no water up, I just put it straight in cold. I wouldn't personally do it on like a sort of a 20 litre, 30 litre tank. I wouldn't put cold water straight in it. I'll do like a 10% water change on them every day. I wouldn't do a big water change. So on a bigger tank it's okay because you've got more volume of water and the fish aren't going to get as shocked. Okay, so that's the filter on, as you can see. The heat is on now. You can see how powerful that 407 is. I'm getting absolutely soaked. Right, so that's the water level back up to how I want it now. Now this is the water primer I'm using at the moment. It's from Quantum. Okay, it's really good stuff. It's near enough a double as powerful as the Seachem Prime, which I've used for years and years. But I've changed over to this. They do obviously do bigger bottles. These do bigger bottles as well. But you get more bang for your buck really with this stuff here. One cap does sort of 600 litres, so the tank out there I only use literally 2 caps a week on it, you know, so it's really cheap. So this one here I'll probably use a quarter of a cap, if that. Literally put it right by the filter head, let it mix all around the tank, and that's basically it. Now I've just had a look in that bucket, there's actually a tetra in there and there's a big guppy, so I'm going to get them out. Now I've just been around wiping the glass with just a bit of tissue. Normally on my tanks I use glass cleaner, but as this tank is being an open top tank, I don't want anything going in the tank, any sort of chemicals and stuff. So I basically just go around, give it a bit of elbow grease, get off the fine watermarks, and that's about it. But that is that tank completely done for another week. 50% water change done. Wipe the glass, easy as anything. It's taken me what, 10 minutes if that. You know, obviously if you're going to change the filter, clean out the filter, it's going to take a little bit longer, maybe another 5-10 minutes put on top of that, you know, but then fluval ones are so easy to clean. But that's it, that's how long this tank's going to take you to look after every week. Obviously you have to top it up every 4 or 5 days. This open top, the evaporation makes the water level go down and the filter starts to play up at the other end. But that's basically it, nice and easy. What's the temperature gone down to? The temperature's gone down to 23, so it's gone from 26 to 23, so it's only 3 degrees, it's not too bad. That's it, all done, ready for another week. So anyway, thanks for watching the video as always. Like and subscribe my channel, ding the notification bell, and keep it real everyone.